All right, folks. So, to make the Y body of your stuffy, what you're going to do is you're going to grab a sock and pick which color you want because it's going to be the main body of your stuffy. And you'll notice that the sock is generally laid out like this, where the heel is sticking out. We do not want to cut here because then when you go to make this as a body, you're going to have this weird like hip poking out on one side. And we don't want that. So what you want to do is roll your sock over, flip it so that the heel is facing up and centered. Then you are going to take the scissors and you are going to cut up to the middle of that heel. Now, depending on how long you want your limbs or appendages, whatever you're going to make these into, you might want to cut that longer if you want them to be nice long legs. You might want to cut it shorter if you want these to be kind of the ears. But you're going to cut up towards this, which is going to be kind of like a butt. It's going to stick out a little bit. It can be a butt or it can be a forehead. Once you have done that, I'm not going to cut that one because I've already cut this one. You're going to have something that looks like this. So now, once you've got this, the easiest way at this point is that you are going to stuff it. So you're going to take the stuffing and you're going to stuff the body with however much stuffing you want your body to have. I've got two kind of big lumps here, and now my body is stuffed. Okay, so I've got my body stuffed. Now, where I'm going to start sewing. I'm going to start sewing at the bottom of this V. So I'm going to start sewing right here. I'm going to sew from this V all the way around to the tip of the toes. So I'm going to take my needle. My needle is already threaded, and it has a knot on the opposite side. So I'm going to show you how to start. You're going to find the bottom of the V. You're going to stick it in one side, stick it in the other side, and you're going to start to pull through, but you're not going to pull all the way through because see how tiny the knot is on this thread? That's always, it's going to pull right through the fabric. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to take your needle and you're going to kind of stick it through the middle, just like I talked about on that whip stitch. And you're going to pull it tight. See how that pulls that tight? Now you are going to either whip stitch or running stitch your way down this piece. So see how I'm grabbing the two ends, I'm pulling them together. I'm choosing to do a whip stitch because I find that that goes a little faster for me. If you want to do a running stitch, that's fine too. Does not matter. And you'll see that I'm matching my thread to my stuffy. You can either match your thread or some people choose a contrasting thread because they want it to show up. That's fine. You're going to whip your stitch your way all the way to the toes. I'm trying to do this fairly quickly. So I'm going to go all the way to the end. I am not going to stop until I get all the way to the end. Whoops. You want to make sure that as you're pulling this through, because that's what just happened to me, that you leave a lot of that thread on the other side of the needle so that your needle doesn't pull all the way through. So I'm just whip stitching. See how I'm going all the way to the end. I'm not leaving a little hole. I don't need a little hole right now. I'm going all the way to the end, and then I'm going to grab a little bit of stuffing, and from the inside here, I'm going to stuff that leg. And when I go to stuff that leg, I'm going to realize if I have any little spots here that I need to go to hit again. Like if there's anywhere where the stuffing's popping out, or there's anywhere that is kind of sticking out too much. So I'm going to sew my way back. See, I want that little bit to get sewn back in. So I'm sewing it back. Bringing it all the way back. And once I get it all the way back to the V, now here there isn't that much that I need to fix. So I'm kind of going to stick it inside the stuffy. See, I stuck it inside the stuffy and I'm kind of pull the thread all the way through. And now I'm back at the V and I'm going to go from the V to the toes of this one. I'm not going to sew all the way, so when I get to be about here, I'm going to leave this little space so I can stuff it right there. And then I'll sew that shut. So there, and then you will have the V of your body.